It's funny how some of the biggest life lessons can come from the smallest, most unexpected places. Today, we're going to dive into exactly that, how strength, beauty, and a real sense of purpose can all be found in miniature. And this idea right here, this is the heart of it all. It's a powerful quote that kind of pushes back on everything we think we know about what it means to be significant. And it's a theme you can see everywhere in nature if you just look close enough. So our guide for this journey is this pretty unassuming plant, the Carissa macrocarpa, better known as the dwarf Natal plum. It's amazing, but in its own compact way, it actually teaches us a ton about how to live a full and meaningful life, even within a smaller frame. All right, first up, let's explore this really fascinating paradox. How can something so small actually be a perfect model of concentrated strength? Okay, so take a look at this. On the left, you've got the full-size Natal plum, just sprawling out, taking up all the space it can. But on the right, you see the dwarf version. Now, here's the kicker. It's the same plant genetically, but all its energy is focused inward, which gives it this dense, compact form. It's not a lesser version at all. It's a concentrated one. And that is the absolute key. This little plant still has it all. I mean, the glossy leaves, the amazing smelling flowers, the edible fruit, and, yep, even those protective thorns. Everything that makes a Natal plum is still there. Just, well, it's all expressed in a much smaller space. So let's dig into how this smallness doesn't just hold on to the plant's character, but in some ways, it actually makes it even more beautiful. Yeah, you can almost think of it like a natural bonsai. When the plant's growth is contained like this, you start to notice all these little details you'd totally miss on a giant shrub. You see the intricate way the branches twist, the elegant curve of a stem, even the stark contrast between a soft leaf and a sharp thorn. It's all right there, clearer than ever. And a lot of this refined beauty comes from some very deliberate shaping. When a gardener gently prunes the plant, they're not holding it back. What they're really doing is guiding it, focusing its energy to create a structure that's more balanced and honestly healthier. It's all about directing life, not just restricting it. And that's such a powerful idea, right? That guidance, that intentional focus can lead to a kind of beauty that's way more refined. It's a great metaphor for our own lives, too. Sometimes that focused effort creates something way more beautiful than just chaotic, unchecked expansion. Okay, but what about its toughness? Let's talk about those thorns. Even on the tiniest little dwarf natal plum, you're going to find its signature forked thorns. It doesn't give up its defenses just because it's small. No way. And there's some real wisdom in the plant's design here. It teaches us that having boundaries, protecting yourself, is totally natural and necessary to survive. You can be gentle and strong at the same time. Being small absolutely does not mean you have to be vulnerable. So we've seen its strength and its beauty, but what about its impact on the world around it? Let's take a look at how this little plant can really make its presence felt. So when the dwarf Natal plum blooms, it gets these beautiful little star-shaped white flowers. And let me tell you, just a handful of these blossoms can completely fill a corner of a garden with this amazing sweet scent, especially in the evening. And that right there is another huge lesson. The plant's influence has nothing to do with how many flowers it has. It's a reminder that a small, quiet act of goodness or beauty can have an effect that reaches way, way beyond its physical size. And then you get this wonderful surprise, the fruit. Even though it's so small, the plant still does its job, still fulfills its purpose, and produces these little red plums. It never forgot what it was made to do. This is such a critical takeaway. It doesn't matter what the constraints are. The plant's core purpose is still there. It just goes to show you that a life can be incredibly meaningful and productive, even with limitations. You can be fruitful in any space. So, let's wrap this all up. Let's bring all these incredible lessons together and really think about the universal message the dwarf natal plum is sending us. So, what have we learned? Well, we've learned that strength is really about its design, not its size. The beauty can be found in those refined, tiny details. That influence doesn't need a grand scale to be profound. And that your purpose can be fulfilled no matter the circumstances. Honestly, this plant is the perfect picture of quiet resilience. It puts up with heat, sun, dry conditions, and it does it all without any big, dramatic show. Its strength is in that steady, faithful growth. It's a power that's built on endurance, not on dominance.
And this brings us to the ultimate point, the biggest lesson of all. In a culture that's always telling us bigger is better, that scale equals significance, this humble little plant offers a pretty revolutionary idea. A meaningful life has nothing to do with being large. It's about being faithful, beautiful, and purposeful right where you are.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Whether it's in our relationships, our jobs, or just our own personal growth, where can we focus on cultivating that greatness? On becoming more refined, more purposeful, and more beautiful, right in the space we already occupy.